All
Okay.
right, we got my boy right here, man. If
What's
y'all
going
don't,
on?
what's going on? Go check my guy out, PV versus everybody on YouTube, man. Make sure let's get him up to let's get you up to 500 subscribers. Go check him out, y'all. He
Yeah,
got a
man. I
lot of he
appreciate
talking
that.
a lot of things to talk about with Prairie View. How's it going?
Man, it's going well. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying the time. We expecting right now, so definitely getting very busy in my house, you know what I mean? But yeah, just enjoying the spring season, man, and all of the conversation around what is looking like for everybody for the fall. So
Okay. So I got a question for you on Alcorn versus Alabama State. This game is going to be in Mobile. What do you think about this game right here, man? What do you think as far as I want to see, and then too, I want to see what Tyler Macon can do because he
that's the
spot on
biggest
safety.
question. I mean, really, honestly, that's the biggest question. I don't know if I mean this is November 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure if Tyler Macon is still starting at Alcorn at this
Oh,
time, you
oh,
know.
what?
So yeah, that's the biggest question. And I mean, and again, we only seen small sample sizes, but based on what he did at Missouri, based on the sample size you saw early in the year, at Alcorn, um, he clearly was not the best QB at Alcorn last year, right? And
Right.
so if he is starting in November, then Alcorn is probably not having as great of a year as we all probably believe they can have, right? Um, and so, but that's just based on the sample size we've seen. Unless he comes out and shows us something different, then that kind of probably means they've not done as well as we kind of thinking they're gonna do. I think you got them at what 6-2 now so far, right?
No, 6-3 because I have them losing to Southern down in Baton Rouge.
Oh, you got them losing to Southern. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so well, I don't have them losing to Southern, but
What?
either way, you know what I'm saying. But either way, right? You know what I mean. 5-3, right? They're probably not doing as well as we think they are. In my opinion, if Tyler Macon is still the quarterback, because that means they don't have anybody else who can step up and get the job done. That's based on a small sample size we've seen so far, right? So
Right.
again, if somebody else got any other reference to show us that Tyler Macon is that guy and can be that guy, then they would just have to show us. But he hasn't shown us that so far,
And like I said, this is all early predictions. So
for sure.
I'm telling everybody this is just for right now until until the portal closes next weekend, and the roster gets finalized by right before fall camp starts. Then this is what we're gonna go with. Like once that roster is finalized, once I see what the 2 deep, and 3 deep is gonna be for each team, then we'll go back and revisit what we had put down as far as what these teams' records going to be. Um, this is just guesstimation. So I don't want nobody to be offended. You know what I'm saying? I had FAMU going 6-6. They probably could go 75. They probably could go 8-4, especially in the
Right.
first year head coaches in the first year of a head coach. So it all just depends on what they got coming in, what they got leaving out, and we all see what's going on. So with kids just jumping in, hopefully that somebody talks some sense to these kids and say, "Hey, come on back home." Or if you do jump in and you still looking for a home, go to an HBCU.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean the portal's still gonna make some differences there too, but we'll just have to see. And I see Edwin said they got a new OC.
yeah,
Yeah, they do got a new OC there, right? So that's gonna be obviously interesting to see what he does and what he brings. I hear that his style is kind of a more of a fast paced style and system. But what has been his record, right, previously and the stops that he's been at.
hmm
That's the real question, right? So, it's always exciting when we got people new in at the end of the day, but it's like what has he actually done to make you say that, man, I think that now we always say, okay, well, the offense should be better, the play calling should be better, right?
right,
how much better is that going to be? And really, the question is, can he mold his play calling around what Tyler does well, right? And then
Right.
what does Tyler do well? Those are the two aspects of that. But
Yeah, and so and then too, remember this is Cedric Thomas' first year as a head coach again with Alcorn, even though he was a head coach before at Pine Bluff, and we all knew what he did at Pine Bluff and kind of brought them back to restore the roar with them. But this is Alcorn. You taking over for pretty much Alcorn royalty and Fred McNair. He was the defensive coordinator last season for Alcorn, so we should see what goes on. Now, this game against Alabama State. Okay, now this is the thing I'm going to reiterate for folks in Montgomery, right? Your quarterback has not played a full snap in a year and a half, right? He played one game since he got injured in 22. He played one game, and if he would not have thrown the 3 interceptions, and I feel like if McKinney could have ran the ball even more, the game was going to be out of hand because they had a they had a 2-touchdown lead on y'all early in the game. So, but what is he going to be able to do with a full schedule, 12 games to be exact now? You got to stay healthy. I'm looking at it like this. I'm thinking Alcorn goes into Mobile and actually takes the dub against Alabama State.
I'm kind of you confusing me right now. So they gonna lose the Southern, but they gonna beat Alabama State.
Hey man, they beat them last season. They said they beat them last season in Montgomery, and it was true. They did beat them last season.
Yeah, they
Um,
did. I give them that. You know what I'm saying. I don't think Aaron is, you know what I'm saying, behind center this year, but and obviously they didn't have D Davis and even Damon Stewart. I don't know if he was playing that game or not, right? And Damon Stewart, I actually like
yeah, he did. He
Stewart's
did play in
game.
that game.
I like Stewart's game, right? But I think Body is, most people will look at Andrew Body as obviously a better QB than Damon Stewart was. But I don't see Alcorn going in there and going to Mobile and beating Alabama State. Now I will say I don't think Alabama State is as solidified as most people think.
Right.
I think their defense is actually going to take a step back this year. I don't think
Mm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to replace two guys who are, one guy who is a group of 5, right now, cornerback, another guy who is potentially an NFL cornerback. You don't just replace that
That is
like
true.
like that just means nothing. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Like that means absolutely nothing. And you also talking about replacing the guy, even though you brought Rico Dozier over from UAPB. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean Rico Dozier is just going to be able to step into Bubba's shoes and completely fill those shoes. So we're acting as if Alabama State has not lost major pieces on the defensive side of the ball, and
Right.
I think that they have lost some pieces that means that, hey, I could set these two guys on islands and just be able to completely say I'm going to control the run game, and maybe I can't do that as much anymore because I don't have those two guys on each side anymore. So, you know,
So I'm gonna put it just like this. I do have them losing against Southern because like with them two, that's a rival, and they go back and forth all the time. Like you said with Alabama State, as far as with the defense go, it's gonna it might take a slide back, but Eddie Robinson wants to get those DBs that 6'2" and over because if you like 5'11", he ain't looking at
yeah,
you.
nah, for sure.
He's not looking at you, and if you like 5'11", you might not even be playing corner. You probably be playing safety like Kel Jackson was last season. So you lose, like you said, you lose a DB to a group of 5, Adrian Maddox. Then Mikey Victor declares for the draft, and shoot, if nobody picks that kid up, they're dumb as hell. Like seriously, that's raw talent right there. And basically, like you're saying, we replacing Damon Stewart, who performed remarkable uh, as a quarterback. You replace him with Andrew Body. Andrew Body is kind of, like I said, Andrew Body is kind of different, and you want to make sure that he is. You got to make sure that he's healthy. So, in a sense, I have Alabama State losing this game to Alcorn. I do have them losing to Alcorn because I feel like Cedric Thomas' defense is gonna rev up, it's gonna spike up, especially when he still has some of the key pieces minus Robert McDaniel, who went over to Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Malachi Bailey. You still got Terrence. You got a lot of pieces on the defensive front that can cause some havoc for Andrew Body. So November the 9th, Texas Southern comes into town, into Lorman. I've already said this. Texas Southern ain't winning this game.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. Not after
This ain't what go happen. This ain't what happened last season.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either.
They ain't winning this game. Now
Yeah.
here's the game of the season right here. So we got Alcorn sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got them. Let's see. They win against Edward Waters. They'll beat McNeese State because I still don't think that McNeese is all that. And they own McNeese State for the last 2 years. They'll beat Valley. They'll beat Pine Bluff. So that's 4 right there. Then I say they'll go to Grambling. They could beat Grambling. So that's 5. They lose to Southern. They beat Bama State 6. So 7-3 right now, sitting with Alcorn, and they come into Prairie View to play the Panthers November the 16th down at Panther Stadium. So tell everybody why they need to be down there for that day.
Oh man, that's gonna be a big game. I mean, I think out of obviously, Alcorn, Grambling, PV, that to me is kind of the only teams that have any shot in the West, right? I do not include Southern in that bunch. I think there's a lot that's going on over there right now. That is gonna just take time, right? So those are the 3 teams, right? But obviously, having that game at home is going to be huge, going to be big. We were able to go into Alcorn last year, right? Be able to get that dub. One thing that was interesting about that game, and I know Alcorn obviously has a new OC, right? But our defense played really well in the second half of that game. I mean, you're talking about, I think the first drive in the second half, Alcorn came down and scored, but you went basically 7 straight drives where, we really held Alcorn in check. And that was really a lot of, and I know people only remember the FAMU games, right? But when you look at the end of the season, the same thing with our defense as well, right? We played really well in other games against Southern, et cetera. So I think that's going to be a really good game. Obviously, I think we're gonna take home the win. I think we're really going to be getting rolling and have, the goal in our sights there. And I don't think, this team is not going to let up, at that time of the year. So they can get the job done at home.
All right. So we got Prairie View with the win against Alcorn in this game right here. So we got them sitting at 8-3. Now they got the game against Jackson State in Lorman. This is the Soul Bowl. They got us last season. Wish we should have won this game last season in Jackson. But I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at where TC takes and put his foot on the gas. And I think we'll win this game right here in Lorman.
Yeah, I actually think Jackson State is going to win that game. I think that game is going to be a really good game too, and I think that game is going to be really important because I feel like there's going to be, in my mind, I'm seeing I could see like a 3-way tie in the East, right, and it coming down to that last weekend in the season. And so, yeah, I think Jackson right now is the team that I have coming out the East, right? And I'm not just saying it because I'm on your show, but just based on kind of what's going on and kind of based on how things land, I just think I think Jackson is gonna kind of have an opportunity to to come out because also I just think the way things line up for the schedule wise, I just think y'all have a better schedule out of the 3 teams, out of the other 2 teams as well. So I think this is going to be a major game, though. I think this is a game that, hey, if y'all drop this game, then like Alabama State would get in, for example, right? Or
Right.
y'all win this game, y'all will get in. Because I think each of y'all are going to lose to each other, right? It's going to kind of be a little round robin there. And then, obviously because of other games that teams have against different teams in the West, and I think that's kind of how it's going to land. That's my thought process.
Right. I mean, but then I think Blues asked me that I had Alcorn winning this game yesterday. I was like, I could flip flop. Yeah, it's a flip flop, but either way it goes, I don't see with Alabama State's record, and it all depends on what they have as far as coming out of the portal and who they got coming in for the fall, from the February signing day class. That will solidify the rest of what the team would do. But this is one of those games where it can go either way. You can have a 24-17 win, or you can have a 7-3 a 7-3 advantage. Like it could be one of those games where you might not see a lot of offense, but you're gonna see a lot of defense being played in this game right here. So if I got them winning, if I got them losing against Jackson State, so that puts them at 8-4 in the West. So that puts them at 8-4. But we still haven't gotten to the rest of the big, the big three. So we got Southern, Grambling, and Prairie View next. So let's do Southern. Let's do Southern. Because I have a feeling with Southern, even though they got a new head coach with Terrence Graves, I don't think that he would be able to it all depends on the QB play with Southern. And QB1, from what I'm hearing, is Noah Baldwin. So
is the quarterback at Southern going to be good enough to overcome the fact that they're going to have an offensive line that's like, you remember like back in the day when people used to, have to have wear them hand-me-down pants and they'll take them patches and put it together, and hold the pants together? Yeah. That's what the offensive line going to be at Southern, in the fall. So are you telling me that the quarterback at Southern, whoever that is, Noah Biden, whoever, right, is going to be good enough to overcome the fact that they are going to have a piecemealed offensive line? Because really, I don't want to say I don't care, right? But you're not going to go in the portal and bring in people that's going to be able to shore up the fact that you have an offensive line with holes all throughout, right? You know what I mean? So that's not going to happen if you don't have guys who are there that you've developed that are ready to step in. Then that's major at the end of the day. I mean, what do we always talk about? The difference between FCS or HBCUs and other levels is not necessarily the receivers, not necessarily the running backs, right? It's in the trenches, right? It's on the trenches, line, right? It's on the offensive line. So is Southern's offensive line going to be good enough to deal with the fact that, is the quarterback going to be good enough to deal with the fact that they have no line? Because if he's not, then I don't know what people are talking about with Southern or picking Southern to win anything.
That's a nice ring to it right there. That's a nice ring to it. I get what you're saying. So let's get to it. So they got McNeese in Lake Charles. They don't really too much have success with McNeese.
I hope Southern wins this game.
I hope so too. We all know why. We all know the reason why we want Southern and we want Alcorn to win against McNeese.
listen. I hope
just for your sake. Just for your sake, right there.
Well, first of all, I don't care that much about Clifton McDowell going to McNeese. Listen, if McNeese asked me to come there and they had 50,000 for me, I'll go there too. So what do you mean? Like, that makes common sense. That's a business decision, all right? And if you're gonna make good business decision, that's wise, right? You're probably not going to the league. You may not have an opportunity to play at the next level, right? You got a year left. Go make a year salary playing football and getting another, you know what I'm saying, a graduate degree. That makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like that makes sense that he go to McNeese. I mean, they're not a good program right now, but that makes sense. So I want them to win because it's a Southland team, and I don't want a SWAC team to lose
Yeah,
to a Southland team. That's just
yeah,
what that is, right? You know what I mean? That's pure. That's just HBCUs versus everybody else. You know what I mean? So don't lose to a bad McNeese team. Like, please don't do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think Southern could win this game against McNeese right here?
Uh, I mean, I don't know that much about what McNeese has coming in, right? But I'm gonna definitely say they have a shot. They're gonna have an opportunity, right? It's probably gonna be come down to coaching, play calling, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You got two teams that's gonna be trying to grow right with what they have. And but one thing I do know about Clifton McDowell, he does make plays off the run. So the fact
Right,
that maybe
right.
McNeese doesn't have as great of a line as Southern does, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
McDowell can make plays off the run, right? That's one thing I know from watching him and some of his some of his previous games, right?
Right.
So he'll give his the people a chance on his team to make plays, right? But can those receivers beat Southern DBs? That's the question those will come down to, right? But hopefully, I'm gonna pick Southern just because I want them to win this game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
then I'm still be honest with you. Southern still have a running back room too. So they still got Kobe Dillon. They still
that's
got
true. That's
the
facts.
guys that was from last season. So I still think to take that pressure off of Bowden, run the ball.
I
And
mean, that's what Frederick's going to have to do. That's what he wants to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to have to be to do that. But I mean, once teams kind of figure out that's what you want to do, that's your bread and butter, they're going to work to take that away. And if
mm-hmm.
they take that away, can receivers beat, what I'm saying, their one-on-one matchup, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Can they find, a spot in the zone, right? And does the quarterback know where to go with the ball? So when the pressure is coming, he can get the ball out. Those are the questions, right?
right.
And I don't trust it. That's just what I'm saying, right? Bad O line, right? I'm not a fan of Mark Frederick's play calling myself personally. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see it happening.
So September the 7th, they got Savannah State. Savannah State coming from the SIAC. I think this is. I won't say this is an easy win, but I would say this will be a win for Southern right here. So let's say they start off 2-0. Put it just like that. Now you coming into a 2-game. I won't say a gauntlet, but it's a battle. So you go to Jackson, September the 14th. Boombox. Everybody needs to be there. I know it's early in the season for us, but this was supposed to be in place of because we're supposed to be in Memphis around this time. But we got the Boombox Classic in September. I have Jackson State winning this game easily against, and the reason why I'm saying it easily because you got to look at the last 4 games of this series. We won again. We beat them in Baton Rouge last season, where our defense played spectacular. The year before that, in 22, we beat them twice. We beat them in Jackson. We beat them 2 times in Jackson, to be exact. To be honest with you, 2 times in Jackson. And we all know what happened that second game. That first game was a complete demolition. That first game was 35-0.
Yeah.
That second game, if he didn't, if Dooley, I don't know why I'm saying this, if he did some sort of justice for Bubba McDaniel, this game would have been closer than what you think.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people turned this game out because we was up by 30 before even halftime came around. He makes the switch. Bubba McDaniel comes in. He makes the game a little bit more respectable, but then we pulled out. We kind of pulled away from them towards the end, 43-26. That was the final. And then the year before that, we go back down to we win our first year down in Baton Rouge for Deion Sanders' first full season as a head coach. We went
Uh-huh.
down there. It was a comeback victory in that game right there. So when you're looking at the pattern, I'm gonna say this: JSU by 40. JSU by 40, because I don't see Southern coming into Jackson and trying to beat us like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's those two previous years to me are irrelevant to this game though, right? You know what I mean? Like these is, new coaching staff, new rosters, right? So I don't connect anything with what happened the last 2 years to it outside of just the fact that it's Southern and Jackson State, right? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Outside of the fact that it's the Boom Classic, outside of the fact that, it's just two rivals, you know what I'm saying, going at each other and two fan bases, right, that be getting at it. But outside of that, I mean, I do think Jackson's gonna take the win though. Um, Easy win. I guess I don't know what you mean by easy win though, but I think I could see a double digit win, right? I could
Right.
definitely see a 10-point win, in this game. Southern's obviously gonna fight, in games like this just because of the prestige, right, and the history of it. But again, I just trust what TC has already going on and what he has growing in that
Mm-hmm.
program versus what Grave has going right now. It doesn't mean that he can't get it going and he can't build it to a certain point, but I'm just speaking about what right now with what we have knowledge of, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, even with running back room, quarterback, wide receivers, if you ain't got no line, man, like it's it's gonna be hard to get any of that going. And if I know
Right.
this is the only thing that you can do, and I only got to stop this, if you don't, if you don't come in game plan and stop it, then something wrong with you in the first place, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Now, now the knockout dragout fight right here, the first 4 games, they coming early to Prairie View, man.
yeah. Early on, we just want to get them out the way. What's the point of wasting time? Let's get it done early.
And of course, y'all remember what happened last time they came to Prairie View, the good old fight that really not too many people saw unless you were on Twitter
I
that
mean,
day.
I think a lot of people saw it after it got put online. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't nobody in the stadium like that. Yeah, it was just like,
No, no, no. It was early on, yeah, for sure,
yeah.
definitely
So,
in person, for sure, yeah.
but yeah, when you look at it, I got Prairie View winning this game easily, hands down.
Yeah, listen, th- listen. I I don't even know how many points we're gonna put up on Southern this game. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Like this one in the Texas Southern is gonna get ugly. This game is gonna be so bad that Southern fans is gonna be leaving before the end of the third quarter. Like
Oh,
that's how bad this game gonna be. So I'm
oh.
just give listen, this is almost gonna be a reminder of what happened at homecoming a couple years ago. Like it's gonna be that bad. Like that's how bad it's gonna be.
It's
So
about bad it's gonna be.
yeah,
So
they're gonna get on the road early. They're gonna be like, listen, I got work, you know what I'm saying, on Monday. I need to get back. Let me go, get in my car and head back to Baton Rouge.
man, so October the 5th, they got Nickel State coming in, another Southland team.
Yeah, that's a L.
That's an L right there.
That's a L.
Texas Southern down in the shell. I got Southern winning this game. I do have it. I don't see Texas Southern doing what they did the last 2 years against these dudes. I don't see it. The last 3 years to be exact. I'm gonna say 3. I don't see them doing that. They got too many. They got too many like holes to kind of. They
Yeah.
gotta patch up and stuff. So I don't see that. Alcorn, October the 19th. That's their homecoming. I did say Alcorn. Well, I did flip flop on this one because I did say Alcorn could lose this game, but then again, Alcorn could easily win this game if they wanted to.
You had Southern win this game,
I had Southern win this game.
which to me is crazy. But hey, listen, I think this is gonna be a very down year for Southern. I mean, I'm talking like a very down year for Southern, in
All
my
right.
opinion. Yeah.
So we got let's say I got Alcorn winning this game. FAMU in Tallahassee. That's an L. I don't know. I'll take the bet. I ain't gonna say that's an L. I'm not gonna say it. Both of these schools is rebuilding. FAMU is learning firsthand of what happens when a beloved head coach decides to dip out on you, and everybody and their mama is in a frenzy.
Well, yeah. They've lost some major pieces. I mean, I put them just like I spoke about Alabama State's defense. I kind of put that in the same category when I'm talking about when I speak about FAMU. Now, I believe a lot of they still have kept a lot of their defensive back room, right? You know what I mean? So I think they'll definitely they'll definitely slide back, right? Again, neither one of those teams is going to be a top 5 FCS defense next year, right? They're not going to be that good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And on the offensive side, you don't got the play caller anymore. That's a huge factor. Like that's a big factor,
Yep.
right? So I know, I believe Henry, is taking over. I know he had the title before, right? But now he's really actually taking over. What have
Mm-hmm.
he learned from Willie? What can he just make his own, right? That's going to be just a learning process in that at the end of the day. And then you also have to have a quarterback that can get the job done. Do they have that? You know what I'm saying? Is the question. I know that the backup. I'm hearing that the FAU guy hasn't really panned out and
I
that
heard
maybe
that too.
it might be the backup, right? To what you call it last year that kind of has the nod right now, unless they bring something in the portal. But
Mm-hmm.
you still need somebody that can kind of know how to put you in the right positions, just like Willie put Moose in the right position. Because Musa with a different OC may have been a completely different quarterback, right?
Right.
That's the reality of the situation. So that's how important it is. Like when I'm to me, I think when you're looking at offenses, there may be a show that we need to do one day, just talk about the combination, right? Quarterback
Mm-hmm.
OC combinations, not just quarterback, because we know you need a quarterback, but also you need a play caller, signal caller, a guy that's going to put you in the right positions too. And
Right.
so if we do a combination, rank the combination of quarterback OC, I think that can also change a lot of things too, as far as kind of how we think the SWAC East and SWAC West is going to pan out. In my opinion, you know what I mean.
Right.
You say Southern losing to everybody.
So losing everybody. So I give the slight nod to FAMU. They go to Huntsville the next week and play Alabama A&M, and I figure look, A&M probably is going to have an interim head coach, because I said this yesterday. I said they don't win that Magic City Classic this season, Maynard's going to get fired before he get on that bus.
Well, Alabama A&M. I think I did watch their spring game. Now, I like. I think it's Xavier Smith. I think is that QB's name.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. You know what I'm saying? I like him. You know what I mean? Not that he's a world beater, right? But I like him better than X, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't know who they're gonna go with. They probably are gonna lean towards starting Langford, right? But I like him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Alabama A&M is gonna be like, listen, we trying to run the ball and we need at least 180, 200 yards a game. Like that's gonna be their bread and butter,
Right.
right? They're gonna want to try to beat you up front. So at the end of the day, you know, will Southern be able to stop the run is really the question. And again, when we talking about this game last year, this was a close game. This was a game that
Mm-hmm.
Alabama A&M definitely could have won,
They could have
right?
won.
I believe they had like I want to say 2 fumbles inside like the 5-yard line. I think, right?
Yeah.
I know one for sure, but I believe it was 2 that they had, right? So this is definitely a game Alabama A&M could have won, and I think they will win. This game this year.
Right. So Alabama A&M for the win against Southern. That's funny. All right, Bethune Cookman comes into town. Oh, do y'all want to play a team like this, man? That's sleeping. Like y'all think y'all can win this game, but they'll probably get on your ass. Like for real. I'm just asking, because I'm looking like this. If Coach Woody could get Bethune back to what they was doing in the MEAC and bullying them up in the MEAC, it'd be a long day for
Yeah,
Southern in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Nobody wants to see Bethune getting back to what Bethune was doing, a lot in the MEAC, right? I mean, even though they didn't have a lot of MEAC championships come out of that, right? But they were definitely always a team that was scary, always a team that could jump up and bite people, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and then I mean, listen, it's like the same as FAM, right? They're in a good location, so if they can get that program in order, they can get players there, so that won't be a problem, being in Daytona, but. So I mean, Bethune is kind of the one wild card to me in the whole SWAC, because they played well last year. They did not play bad, right? They
Right.
didn't get over the hump. They are learning how to win, right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
Bethune was last year. Their team is learning how to win. I don't know how many like returning players they have, but if they're kind of how Texas Southern was a few years ago, where they had a lot of freshmen and sophomores, to me they're going to be in a good position so that hey, this year maybe they can come out 5-7, 6-6, 7-5. I mean, probably 6-6, 5-7 in that range. And then the year after is the year that's like, hey, we really shooting to try to, win the East, right, and get in the SWAC championship game. So they're definitely gonna win some games this year, and they're definitely gonna get a couple of these SWAC games. I'm not sure exactly which ones they're gonna get, but they're gonna get somebody for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm looking at this right here, and I'm thinking Bethune takes this game right here. Yeah, to me.
hey, listen, I don't. Again, I think Southern's gonna be down. So, anything that has, I mean, I can see Bethune winning this game too.
We got Pine Bluff coming into Baton Rouge. I give Southern this game because I don't see a
Yeah,
lot going off in Pine Bluff. They
yeah,
still got a lot of youngsters up there, and then of course the they call it the granddaddy of them all in the HBCU world is the Bayou Classic,
yep,
Grambling and Southern. Now this game could go either way.
yep.
This game can go either way. You can have two down teams. It doesn't matter. This game can go either way. Um, but I'm gonna have to go the way of Grambling. I think this is Grambling's year
Mm,
to kind of break that curse that they done had against Southern in the last couple of classics.
yeah,
Um, they had a chance to win. They had a chance to win it yet last year. I'm about to say yesterday. They had a chance to win it last year, but costly interceptions and the fumble just turned the whole game around. So
right,
you cannot have that coming out, especially when you pretty much almost had like one of the best quarterbacks in the conference in Miles Crawley. So I would say Grambling wins this game right here. So we looking at Southern going 2-10. When the last time you heard Southern go like 2-10?
yeah.
No,
That
three. I say three. Let's go
3
3-9.
and 9.
3-9.
Yeah,
When was the
3 and 9.
last time, Mr. Edwin, he's a Southern grad. When's the last time you see Southern go 3-9?
Yeah, it's probably been a while.
It's been a while. he said if Southern is as bad as we talking about it, they might not even win the game.
Well, I mean, in front of again, I wasn't at the spring game, but from what I hear, uh, the offense, offense was moving the ball. I mean, fairly well, fairly easy. To me, I don't really think that's a good sign, in my opinion, right? You know what I mean? Because that to me gives
Mm-hmm.
me questions about the defense more than it gives me questions about, I mean,
About
confidence in
the
the
offense.
offense, right? So,
Right.
because really, that's what they're gonna need. That's what their calling call their front, line was, this past couple years, right? So if that's not going to be a strength, they could really be in more trouble, than I already think they are in, right? You know what I'm saying? But they could be in even more trouble. So
All right, so we got Grambling's spring. We got Grambling's schedule up here. They got their spring game is tomorrow, 4:20. So I think that spring game will be on HBCU Plus on their channel. And so let's get to it. August the 31st, they are going to Lafayette to play the Raging Cajuns, University of Louisiana. Fat L. I fat L. Gotta start it off right. Gotta start it out somewhere. They got Tuskegee coming into Grambling. That's kind of interesting to see right there. But I ain't got
That's gonna be a cool game.
Tuskegee.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cool game, but I still say Grambling takes this game right here. So they'll be 1-1. Now, this is very interesting because I might make this game right here. This is September the 14th. I might make this game because it's in East Texas. It's in Commerce. Ain't nothing about an hour drive from my house against A&M Commerce Lions, which is another South. I think they're a Southland team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, definitely.
They have no chance winning this game.
You don't think Grambling has a chance to beat Commerce?
I don't think they have a chance of winning this game. I
Really?
know. Oh my God! I know it was Coach Cartel. Is the head coach for A&M Commerce. And let me just make sure to be. Let me make sure that I can put that in this play because I really do not see them. Yep, they're in Southland. Let's see. Let's get to the football.
Yeah, I know I mean, they were, I
Yeah,
think,
they
like
had it.
8 last year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what they are this year. I know that they had some transfers out of the program and into the program, but again, I don't know what they're going to be this year. But they're
Oh,
definitely,
they got a new head coach.
yeah, they have a new head coach, and they're on the downside in the Southland, right? You know what I mean? So this should definitely be a game that Grambling can get.
If they
In
can
my
get it.
opinion.
Okay, so Clint Dozell, who is an A&M Commerce great, who played in the Arena League football back in when it was still popping, like when it was popping. He takes over as the head coach of the A&M Commerce Lions. If you say that they can, if you tell me that they can actually take this game, yeah, they probably can take this game. I'll give Grambling a nod on this one. Thank you for letting me know that. I give Grambling a nod on this. So that starts them off at 2-1. Hey, two good wins
Mm-hmm.
against a very storied program in Tuskegee, and then one program that's, like you said, they were on top of the Southland. Now they're pretty much like bottom feeders. It's bad when you hear A&M Commerce is worse than is worse than Nickel State.
Mm-hmm.
So September 21st, this is Grambling versus Jackson State. So this is a non-conference game for us, for both of us.
Yeah, that's a
I
non-SWAC
yeah,
game. Yeah,
non-SWAC game, but I don't put.
y'all like playing them non-SWAC games. You know what I'm saying, against SWAC teams. So.
Hey man, look, we just try to fill the schedule up, bro. We just try to fill the schedule up. But plus, they're gonna be back on our schedule anyway next year. So
Yeah.
Well, the year before that, we all know what happened. Everybody was passing out, and we was passing out ass whoopings. We beat them by 42 in this game, 66 to 24.
But that's a whole different time.
That's a whole different time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a whole different time. But that's what I was saying. I'm just kind of giving a recap. We was passing out ass whoopings, and everybody was passing out in the stands. Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
And this game is in the hole. Now, the last time Jackson State did play Grambling in the hole, that was during the spring season. We won that game. And like you said, it was the past. But I don't see. I did have us winning this game right here because the schedule is favorable for us this season.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's very favorable for us.
Yeah, y'all don't play us this year, so it's very favorable.
See, you know what? We get y'all next year. And I think we get y'all. I don't know if y'all come to Jackson because last time we got y'all, we played y'all. We was in Prairie View. So
Yeah,
we
this
went
gonna be an interesting game. I mean, to me, this is one of those push games. I
mm-hmm.
actually think it could go either way, right? It being in Grambling obviously gives them an edge. I'm from North Louisiana, right? So
Right.
I used to all Grambling games is actually that's who I used to always go see all the time, right? So Grambling, we go to Alcorn games, Jackson, right? So we was all in that little North Louisiana, Mississippi, Dallas area games, right? So been a lot of Grambling games in the whole, and the atmosphere is great, but the question for me for Grambling is going to really depend on how. And I know you had, Grambling has, lost big pieces from the backfield, right?
Right. Ooh,
Really,
everybody from
really
that
big
backfield is
pieces.
gone.
And so Miles Crawley was able to do a lot of great work off of the fact that he had a good run game. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That can't be missed. And so yes, he's a good quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely a quarterback that can make plays and make throws. But I also know that he was able to do a lot of work and damage off the fact that he had a run game to lean on.
Right.
And so my question with Grambling and Mickey Joseph, Eric Dooley is going to be, well, how much is Dooley going to lean into the run game? Because that's not really Dooley's style. That's not really been his style. In the previous places, obviously at PV, Southern, etc., places he's been before. And if he don't lean into the run game, I think it's going to make it more difficult for Miles Crawley because you're going to make him throw the ball a lot more, and you're going to make him have to beat teams through the air. It's easy to beat teams when they really got to watch for the run, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You bringing linebackers up now, right? You're getting safeties coming in toward the box, right? So now you're getting a lot of one-on-ones. You're getting to get the ball outright to some of your playmakers, right? You know what I'm saying? And just let them work. But the less you're able to have a run game is the more
Mm-hmm.
trouble you're gonna have. So that is to me the question with Grambling on the offensive side of the ball is, man, what are they gonna do as far as that's concerned? Because if that's gone, if they don't lean on that anymore, right? And Chalk and Chance is out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, right? I mean, they had a stable of running backs before, so they may have guys that's in now who can take over those roles, right? But again, like I always say, it's not just easy to just put. This is not Alabama and LSU and Ohio State. We're
Yeah.
we're we're SWAC schools. You feel me? Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you lose a running back that's dynamic, you don't just go pick up another running back just like that and just think that they're going to be as explosive, right? Has as much vision, you know what I mean? Be able to cut just as well. They don't just happen just like that. It may happen, but we can't just take it as if, right? Oh, we just expect they just gonna plug somebody in for two running backs that left, two guys who were those guys. So that's my question with Grambling. So I think they can win this game, but it's really a push in my mind, right? So I'm gonna give it to Graham because it's in the hole, but it's really
Ooh.
gonna depend on what kind of about it by the third game. You're gonna know how Grambling gonna be, right? Because you're gonna see how Dooley is called in the offense, and it's gonna really determine like what this team gonna be. So yeah,
You say Grambling wins this game. I have my Jackson State Tigers winning this game. So
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
we we, we clear.
Yeah,
But
it's a push, right? So I can see
it's a
Jackson
push.
winning it too. So, but yeah,
But here we go. It's the knockout drag out fight. We down September the 28th, the last Saturday of September, right before that fair start. Prairie View versus Grambling State Fair Classic. If you want to come to this game, make sure you stop wherever you at before you jump your ass into the Cotton Bowl. Get you a turkey leg, a Fletcher's corny dog, get you something to drink, hydrate with, get you all the food. And they'll serve it inside of the stadium too, but get you all the food that you can get. Because we talk about high school battle of the bands coming up in here. You talking about the pregame concert. We talking
all
about
the events.
all events happens before that game even starts. And if it's a night game again at 6 o'clock, man, brings back a lot of memories, except for the fact that the last time I went to a Prairie View game that started at 6 o'clock against Grambling, Grambling kind of put 70 on them. But I don't want to relive that right there. But at the same time, man, come in, get the festivities. It's the state fair, man. Come and enjoy yourself. The city of Dallas, we gonna welcome everybody with open arms. And then we got the game of the night. Prairie View versus Grambling. What's your take? What's your take? Because Grambling got you last season.
Yeah, they definitely got the job done last season. So hey, you got to take it as it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, a lot of my questions is going to be because if I had to choose any team, I think Grambling. Right now in my early predictions, Grambling is going to finish second in the West. That's why I got finished second in the West, right?
Ooh.
But that's kind of based on kind of just early on what's going on, right? And on me
Right.
not really Grambling, Miles Crawley, right? When I look at Alcorn with Tyler Macon, right, I'm obviously leaning Grambling, right? And so I like the experience of Mickey Joseph, right, over the experience of Cedric, you know what I'm saying, or said. So, that's kind of why I'm leaning Graham overall. But
Mm-hmm.
not to say that, the guys aren't ready to rock out with said over there in Alcorn, because they obviously are. But so I think it's going to be, I definitely think it's going to be a good game. I think this is going to be one of the better games on our schedule, right? On the teams
Mm-hmm.
that we face, and obviously just being a State Fair Classic. But I think the thing that's going to tip the hat is our defense is definitely improved, and I think that's one thing that I think people just kind of take it that you kind of just look at what was there before, and you just keep it moving. But the defense is definitely much improved, and I think it's going to kind of probably shock a lot of people how much better the defense plays, and earlier on how much they start to see them being. I mean, how well they gel together. And so I think that's going to really be the main difference. And obviously, from an offensive standpoint, the game last year, right, we were just very stagnant. I mean,
Yeah, it was
most
stagnant.
of the
Yeah.
games we lost, right? I mean, I look at the offense even more than the defense, even though the defense gave up a lot of yards, right, a lot of points. But the offense was very stagnant and put the defense in bad positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe Whedon is going to have the offense a lot more efficient to where, some of those drives were the year before, 2023, we'd be off the field, right? I think he
Yeah.
would be able to sustain a lot more drives, right? Just from his play calling and from the way he uses guys, so that we keep Graham on the sideline, we keep the ball moving. And obviously we put points on the board. So I got us winning this game. I think we pull away late in this game, right? And so I think we definitely take the dub.
Okay. So we got Prairie View winning this game right there. So then what we got? So you got Grambling sitting at what, three and uh 3-3.
I got him sitting
No,
at 3-2. Three
three
and
and
two.
two. So
Yeah.
I got them sitting at 2-3.
Yeah.
No, I got them sitting. So you got them sitting at 3-2. So we said a loss to Louisiana. They'll beat Tuskegee and Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
You said that they'll beat Jackson State. I said that they will lose.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're 3-1, and then you said they'll beat Prairie View. So that's 3-2. So I have them
At 2-3.
2-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Now, Alcorn coming to town October the 12th. That's pretty much around my
Yeah.
birthday time.
It's
We
gonna be a good one too.
It's a good one too. We said that it Tyler Macon is going to be the man, and he's improving. I would say Alcorn wins this game,
Yeah.
but we talk about Grambling in the hole. That's the reason why they have a mystique, and they had such a long winning streak at home. So this game can go either way.
Um, I'm gonna give this game to Grambling. Um, I'm gonna give this to Grambling too as well. I just think they're going to. I mean, I just think I trust their offense more than I trust Alcorn's offense. Just again because of the signal caller, right? That's the thing. Maybe I should say I trust their quarterback more than I trust Alcorn's quarterback because I don't
Mhm.
necessarily trust Dooley per se. But again, it's really going to be is the question is going to be kind of how much control does Mickey Joseph have over that, right?
Right.
Because obviously he's just an OC. But I'm gonna get that to Grambling. I think they get the job done. I definitely think there's gonna be a close game, just like it was, you know what I mean, in Lorman, right? I
Hmm.
think it's gonna be a close game as well. But I'm gonna get up on the Grambling.
Okay, so I did get the edge to Alcorn on this one. So you got them 3-4-3. I got them 2-4. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. But anyway, I have so we are pushed on this one. Now, Pine Bluff, this homecoming for Grambling, easy win. Grambling. Like I said, with Pine Bluff, I don't see anything happening with this squad right here. Uh, so they go on the road to Texas Southern down in Houston. This is going to be another win for Grambling too. So you got them at 5-2 right now. I had them at um four,
No,
4-5,
three. I think you got
three,
them at 3 and 4, right?
3-4. So you got them at 5-2. I got them at 3-4. At Bethune Cookman in Daytona. So what we talk about this right here?
And that Texas Southern game with Grambling was, you know, if Texas Southern receivers catch the ball, that game is closer
That
than
game is
it
closer than
was,
what you think. Yeah.
right? And Jace Wilson played pretty well. I don't know what kind of the quarterback room is looking like right now, what kind of coaching staff is feeling, but I feel like Jace Wilson played very well last year. You know what I'm saying? He played comparable, I would say, right? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't great, but he was a good quarterback. He was a serviceable quarterback that could get the job done. So but I don't know. Texas Southern is just kind of, yeah, they got a lot of holes in different places. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they got. But Bethune Cookman, this is another one of them games, right? That's like, hey, you can see Grambling. It's a
Mm-hmm.
game where I'm like, man, Grambling could drop this game. It just depends on where Bethune is, right? They're gonna play a lot of teams hard and a lot of teams tough, and it's gonna be in Daytona,
Yep.
right? Away from the hole. So I'm
On
gonna
the
give this
beach.
one to Bethune. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Get
give
to
this one to
Bethune.
Bethune. This is gonna be one of the ones I think maybe that will shock people because hey, Grambling, in my opinion, right, is gonna be on a little road during this time, and then Bethune jumps up and bites them, right? So I'm gonna give this one to Bethune.
So I got them at 4. I got them at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, yeah, I got them at 4-6. So you got them at 5-4. No, 5-5. No, 6-4. I'm tripping. So you
Six
said
and
so you
four,
said
6 and
or
3,
you said
right?
6-3. 6-3.
6 and
So I
3.
got them at 4-5. So okay, we should be fine. Bama State in Grambling. This was an interesting game right here
I
last
think.
season.
Yep.
This is a
Uh,
very interesting game.
this is another one I think is gonna be close, right? I mean, I think Graham's gonna play a lot of close games this year. Um, Again, because like I already mentioned before, I think Alabama State defense is not going to be as good as it was last year. So I think Grambling is going to be able to score a little bit more than you saw the previous game with them. The question is obviously going to be Grambling's defense, right? Because that's a big question mark, I think, for us as well right now. It's like, where's Grambling defense at the end of the day, right? So I'm gonna give this to Alabama State, but I think this is also one of them games like the one with Jackson where I feel like it could really go either way. But I'm gonna give this one to Alabama State.
Okay, Alabama State. Mm, I might. I think I did say Alabama State wins this game against Grambling. Um, so I'll go with Alabama State on this one. Alabama A&M in Huntsville. It's November the 16th.
Yeah.
I got Grambling. I'm gonna go with Grambling on this one.
From one hill to another, the Bulldogs get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
The
Lord,
Bulldogs get it done.
I got Grambling. You got A&M. So we got to push on that one. And then the last game of the season, I said
Grambling. Yeah, I got
Grambling takes
Grambling on the
Bayou
subject.
Classic.
So I got him at 75. I got
Okay,
Grambling at 75.
so I think I got Grambling at 6-6. That's very interesting. And here we go with the last team on the docket, which is Prairie View. Let me go ahead and get back to it. All right, since I got a Prairie View faithful up in here, man, make sure y'all go check them out. PV versus everybody. Let's get them up to 500
Yeah,
subscribers.
y'all go and
That way you
subscribe,
go
man.
get that
Show
thing.
some love, man. We
Get
trying
that
to build
thing.
the channel up, man. Show some love.
Get that thing monetized, y'all. Let's get that thing monetized.
Yes, sir.
So let's see what we got on the first game of the list. We already know first game of the season. It's it's that Labor Day Classic in the sticks down
First
there.
SWAC game of the season. First SWAC game of the season. Going to be played exactly where the last SWAC game of the season is going to be played. So I think that's interesting. You know that the schedule lined up like that. It's beautiful, just beautiful.
Yep. And look, everybody gonna be on Alta Vista's plantation.
That's right.
And basically, it's gonna be 10 years in a row that Texas is
Dime
not won their game.
pieces. Dime pieces. Okay. All right. Write it down. Take a picture. Dime pieces. That's 10 in a row, right? That's 18 out of the last 21, by the way. Just so y'all know, right?
Okay.
So just so y'all understand, right? Why y'all here? Listen, since Prairie View has had full scholarships, because I want people to understand, right? 2004, we got full scholarships back, right?
It took them a long time to get them back.
17, we're 17-3 against Texas Southern. I just want y'all to understand that, right? Since we've had full scholarships, all right? So that's just like our little brother down the street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We just protect them against other people. You know what I mean? But when it's a fight between us, you know what happens, right? So going for a dime piece, that's 10 in a row, right? But we own them. Listen, we've had whole graduating classes that don't know what it feels like to lose to Texas Southern. I mean, like lose to Texas Southern. What is that? Okay,
I'm about to say your OC played your OC played here at PV. I don't think he lost to Texas Southern, has he?
I think they were 3-1 during his time, so they lost one time.
They lost one time
during that period, right? That was one of the three. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the three.
I know my boy KJ Black, who's with the Falcons right now, on the coaching staff with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, they got two. You know what I'm saying? They got he was 2-0, right? You know what I mean?
I'm about to say, I don't think he lost against them.
Yeah, he wasn't a starter for either one of those games though, because he was hurt one year and then he didn't start the first game, right? So he came in, but he didn't actually start the game. But either way, right? You know what I'm saying? The point is dime pieces, right? 10 in a row. We gonna do after this game, everybody in the SWAC gonna be looking like what they just do to Texas Southern? Did they just put a Tulsa score on Texas Southern? Yes, that's what's gonna happen. All right.
Yep.
All right, 63-7, something like that. It's gonna be nasty.
All right. So that's one. That's one win right there. All right, you go to Natchitoches, you play Northwestern State. They are on a pretty much a rebuild because majority of their team, or complete rebuild because the majority of the team, they canceled the season because one of the teammates got killed.
Right.
And it seemed like they could not recover from that. And I understood where they're coming from. I understood where the program's coming from, where the coach came from. So they are on a whole total rebuild. This is another Southland team right here that you can actually win. I give the nod to Prairie View. 2-0. 2-0 to start out the season. Then you make your way up north to Sparty, to East Lansing, the home of Magic Johnson and Kirk Cousins and all them other folks up there to play the Michigan State Spartans. We're just gonna say, look, let's move to the next game.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next
Yeah, we
game.
don't. We don't. Obviously, we're not going to win that game, right? But I think we're going to play pretty well and put up a good showing. That's what you want to do, right? Give
Right.
your kids a shot to play against a Power Five opponent. You know what I mean? Get some good Power Five tape and just put up a good showing, right? And I think that we're gonna. I think this year we're definitely going to put up a good showing, a good fight against Michigan State. But that's a L. That's definitely a L.
So then, like we said, Southern come to town. We already said Prairie View will win this game because Southern is pretty much on a rebuild. Also, we don't know what Terrence Gray is going to have with this team. We don't. We really
We
don't.
don't know what we're gonna have, but we know he's gonna get on September 21st.
And then by the time
That's a L.
by the time you come into Southern, you already know what your QB is going to look like. You already know what your offense is going to look like. I definitely know what the defense is going to look like. I love what I saw in y'all spring game. Flat, fast, flying to the ball, attacking defense. That's something that y'all missed the last couple of seasons.
That's the one piece that we've for sure been missing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Better play calling, right? And just a better defense overall, right? So I mean, obviously you got a chance to see that, but I think most people don't. Most people just thinking what they saw. But again, right? If we break down even last year, the defense played really well in spots. You know what I'm saying? In multiple games. Like I say, Alcorn game, Southern game, right? You're talking about Southern game. We gave up literally no yards in the second half until the
Yep.
last play of the
To the
game,
last
right?
play of the game.
So we played really well in spots last year, and I think now this team they're really starting to gel on the defense side of the ball, and I think this is going to be one of the better defenses in 2024 for sure in the SWAC.
All right, so we got them starting off at 3-1. All right.
Yes,
We
sir.
said the State Fair Classic. We already said Prairie View takes the State Fair Classic. They give them their eviction notice again for what's that? 5 out of 6 years now.
Yeah, they'd be 5 out of 6. Yeah,
Y'all own the Classic. This is y'all got to understand.
we own that.
This is coming from what Grambling used to do to Prairie View for those 8, 9 years, 10 years in this Classic. Like, eviction notice was served before they even got off the bus.
Yeah, for those non-scholarship years, make sure you say that.
The non-scholarship
Make sure
years.
the non-scholarship years.
It's so many dang on coaches y'all done had because y'all recycle coaches like white on rice. But anyway, so we said Prairie View win this game, so we got them at 4-1 right now. So they go to San Antonio to play Incarnate Word. I don't know because this is another Southland team, and this is what I like about the schedule though. They're West. Y'all schedule a lot of Southland Conference teams.
Yeah,
What do you think about this one right here?
Yeah, we scheduled pretty well, right? We definitely try to keep a very competitive schedule. That's one thing I like about us, right? Is we'll play teams, comparable FCS teams, right? Last year we didn't have a good showing out of conference, right? So I'm looking for us to do a lot better and play a lot better, out of conference this year. I think we'll do that, right? Having a different play call and signal caller this year. Incarnate Word, I'm gonna give them this win. I don't know where they are right now. I believe they have a second year coach now, right?
Yes,
But
second
I
year
don't know.
coach.
Yeah, I don't know enough about their roster, right? And enough about their team right now. But I mean, I know that Incarnate Word has been a very good Southland team, a very comparable FCS program over the last few years, and so I think this is going to be a great test for us. I'm gonna go ahead and give Incarnate Word this win on this game, but I expect this to be a good game. I don't expect this to be a game that's that's a blowout or anything like that. But once I have a little bit more information, leading into the fall, I can give more of a better prediction based on kind of some actual information.
Yeah, so they went 8-2 last year. They were 6-1 in the Southland Conference. First year head coach Clint Killow, because he took over for GJ Kinney.
We went to Texas State, right?
Texas State. So you talking about a team like
it's gonna be a good game, and
it's
I
gonna
mean,
be a good game.
it's gonna be a good game. I know one guy that we was looking at bringing in at the D tackle position actually end up committing there. So I definitely know they're bringing in some guys, and they always have guys over there in San Antonio. So it's gonna be an interesting game. This is gonna be a great litmus test, and that's what I like about having games like this. On the schedule is you get to test yourself against some of the best in the FCS, right?
Right.
Not just other SWAC schools, right? So yeah,
So we give the nod to we're gonna give a nod to Incarnate Word. So that puts Prairie View sitting at, let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-2. So we got them at 4-2 right now. All right, Pine Bluff come. We go to Pine Bluff. October the 12th. We already know. I said Prairie View takes this
yeah,
game against Pine Bluff. Got an off week again. Now, here's another Southland team again. We talked about this before. Y'all got A&M Commerce as your homecoming opponent.
yeah.
October the 26th. My niece wants me to come down there to cover this game. I probably might just make my way down there.
Don't make your way down and check out Panther Stadium, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Have you been on the campus before?
I've been on the campus. I ain't been on campus since they built Panther Stadium. I was on there when
Oh,
they
nah.
had
So
old
see,
Blackshear Field.
yeah, and since they built Panther Stadium, right? You know, I know people talk about the stadium, but that's only one of some of the new improvements and new buildings that's on campus. So I mean, it's just beautiful, man. So you got to come down and check it out. That'll be a great weekend to do it. It's homecoming too. It'll be perfect for you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of activity. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be people everywhere. You know what I mean? So it'll be a dope time for you to check it out.
I give a nod to Prairie View in this game. Like I said, we talked about this earlier. Clint Dozell was the first year head coach last season with Commerce. They went 1-9 in the Southland. I don't see them getting back up there again anytime soon until he gets his actual recruiting class coming up. But I got Prairie View with this win right here, so I got them at. So where we got them at? Let's see, we got
I think that's 6 and I got them 6-2 right now.
6-2. Okay, so we on the same page right now. 6-2. At Valley, we've already look. Valley has been a thorn in y'all
Yes,
side for
they
the
have.
last 4 years. Y'all
Yeah.
got them last season. Now, I will say that. But we going to a new improved Rice Todd Stadium. From like I said, what I'm hearing, they putting down the turf. They getting the new. They got the jumbotron coming up in there. They try to do some big things down in the Bena. Unfortunately, this is not going to equate to a win, but I like what they doing. It's not going to equate to a win against y'all, so I got y'all winning this game. I wouldn't say big, but I got y'all winning this game right here.
Nah, it's gonna be big. I think we won this game by like 25 last year. You know what I'm saying? So over 3 touchdowns. I think it's gonna be 4+ this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
easy.
right. So we got 7-2 right now. Y'all 7-2 Prairie View team. Now we got the rematch. We got a rematch November the 9th. Ain't no Rattlers coming all the way to PV from Tallahassee. First of all, that's a long ass drive right there, bro. That's a
That's probably
long.
Rattler. That's probably some in Houston and Dallas.
Oh yeah, y'all
I'm
got your
sure.
Rattlers in Houston. And
Yeah, I'm
you got
sure.
Rattlers in Dallas, so they'll
Yeah.
make their way down to Prairie View. So FAMU comes to Panther Stadium. They get to visit the lovely campus of Prairie View. This be the first time I think the first time ever that they ever played Prairie View in Prairie View. I don't know if that's the case, but we can go back and look at the history books on that. And go. Let's see what's the reason why Prairie View will prevail in this game.
One reason is because of what FAMU has lost, and the other is because of what we've added. You know what I'm saying? So one thing is because of what FAMU's lost. The other thing is because of what we've added, right? Obviously, they've lost major pieces. Same thing I talked about Alabama State. You just don't replace a guy who comes in and gets you 8 sacks, right? You know what I'm saying? Double digit tackles for loss. You just don't replace something like that overnight. That's not how that works, right? And when you lose multiple of those type of guys, right, on the defensive side of the ball, that's big. You also lose you lose the guy who was in command of that defense as well. You don't just lose players, you also
Mm-hmm.
lose the DC, right? You don't just lose, you don't just now miss your quarterback, right? But also you're missing your play caller. Now you got to come in with a new play caller and you got to find a quarterback. FAMU is back to the position that most SWAC schools are in, which is we all got to find a quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're now in that position. They were in the position before where they had their quarterback, right? Now they got to find one, and they got to find and figure out how they're gonna work as far as what kind of scheme they're gonna put together to be able to get the job done. Now the good thing is they got a stable of running backs that can keep them afloat throughout the year while they
Right.
try to figure out their passing game, right? But I definitely think FAMU has it's clear to if nobody thinks, even if FAMU people don't think that FAMU hasn't taken a step back, they're just being a complete homer, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So FAMU is obviously taking a step back, and we have taken a step forward. That's just the reality, right? Bringing in a new OC, the offense is not going to look like how it's looked previously. That's just the reality. One thing that I keep saying is our offense was stagnant so much. I mean, there was every game I can point to every game where we would go 5-6 drives that there was no production. It's hard to win games if your offense can't just give your defense a chance to rest and stay on the sideline and be off the field, right? So
Mm-hmm.
offensive standpoint, right, the scheme is going to be better. And I know people talk about right now. One, I know what we got in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I like what we got in the room, even with McDowell coming in. And I told somebody McDowell potentially coming in. I told somebody when that news was circling that, hey man, I'm happy, but I just want him to come in and compete because I like what we got in the room already. So if he come in and win the job, cool. That means I know we're gonna be straight because I like what we already got there, right? But the other thing is you got to realize that Anthony Whedon in 2022 with Campbell played 3 quarterbacks and they averaged 31 points a game.
Mm.
Nobody can tell me any of these quarterbacks, right? So
Right.
my point is though, right, that we have somebody who has the ability to control the offense and know how to put the offense in the best position. That's why he won the Graphite Award for the best play caller in the CAA during that year because
Mm-hmm.
he put his offense and his squad in a position to win games, and he's coming in to score points. That's his one job. He got one job to do is to come in and score points. That's it.
Right.
And he's gonna do that job very well, right? And like I say, the defense is much improved. It's gonna be a completely jailed defensive squad this year that I'm super excited about, right? And so yeah, man, I think we're gonna roll, right? I mean, hey, listen, I know people think what they think. I got us going 10-2. That's just what it is, right? You know, Andrew Body has never beat us. Alabama State ain't beat us in like 9 years. Texas Southern ain't beat us in 9 years. Listen, we good. We are good. We're chill. So yeah, we're gonna take care of FAMU. And listen, I got it like a 10-point win, right? I think it's gonna be like a double-digit win too. I don't think it's gonna be coming down to the last play at the end of the game. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a pretty comfortable win. Yes, please clip that. Please
Clip that.
please
I
write it
got
down. Please
it.
take a picture. Listen, if you go to my channel, I have T-shirts that you can purchase that lets you know the SWAC championship game is going to be in Prairie View, Texas, on December 7th, 2024. So listen, I made it easy for you to know that I said what I said. All right, you know what I'm saying. So if you want to get it, so you can wear it with pride, you know what I'm saying. After it happened, you can go do that. You know what I'm saying. So you ain't got to clip it. I clipped it for you. You know what I mean?
See, look. So
Easy say we're not winning more than 7 games.
that's a
That's
damn
great. I
shame.
love that.
That's crazy. The schedule, looking at the schedule, is favorable for Prairie View to win the West. I got them. Look, so much movement in the West was done in the West in the last 2 years. The only consistent person that was in the West is Bubba McDowell. The man ain't went nowhere. He been at PV for almost for over a decade, y'all. Let's just remember this. This man was coach. He was coach in waiting. Even when the Willie Simmons, even with before Henry Frazier got there, like he was
And,
coach in
and,
waiting.
and let me say this because I got to jump off real quick. I got to go, but I appreciate you having me on.
All
The
right.
program has been the most consistent. Right now, we have the most stable program in SWAC. That's just the reality. I mean, you can argue and say Jackson, right, with TC, right? But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, we are the most we have a program that is in place, right? The players love playing for the coaches. There's not a lot of movement and transition out of the program, right? Guys come in, they're willing to wait and get developed, right? So the program is set, and it has a great culture in this room at PV. So again, right, like we've been building, and listen, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to host the SWAC championship game, win it, get the celebration bowl. So anyway, I got to roll though. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all clip that though. Please clip that. And matter of fact, go over to the YouTube channel, go and follow and subscribe so you can say whatever you're gonna say. But I know you're gonna come back in the fall anyway, because
Man, go check out my man line
y'all gonna
over there,
lose.
PV
Anyway, I
versus
gotta roll.
everybody. All right. last 2 games of the season. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have last 2 games of the season for Prairie View against Alcorn and Alabama State. I do have them winning those 2 games, so they will. I have PV finishing at 10-2. I also I don't have them hosting the SWAC championship game. They'll be back in Jackson for the SWAC championship game. But other than that, y'all, that is my good old schedule breakdown for the early predictions. Make sure that you like the stream. It was a good, interesting stream today.